सब्सक्राइब करें हमारा यूट्यूब चैनल, बेल आइकन को क्लिक करना ना भूलें, जिससे आगे आने वाले सभी यूट्यूब अपडेट्स, वीडियोस, नोटिफिकेशंस आपको मिलते रहें।
गुड मॉर्निंग फ्रेंड्स, वेलकम टू परिष्कार फैमिली। परिष्कार फैमिली में आप सभी का स्वागत है। मैं हूं डॉक्टर प्रीति और आज हम लेके आए हैं मॉडल पेपर CBSE का मॉडल पेपर 2। नया मॉडल पेपर हम लोग इंग्लिश का लेके आए हैं और नया मॉडल पेपर हम लोगों ने एक क्रिएट किया है आप लोगों के लिए, ताकि आप लोगों को हेल्प मिल सके कि किस टाइप के क्वेश्चंस आपके सामने आने वाले हैं और किस तरीके से आपको उन क्वेश्चंस को सॉल्व करना है। एक मॉडल पेपर हम ऑलरेडी सॉल्व कर चुके हैं। आज हम आए हैं दूसरे नए मॉडल पेपर के साथ, जो कि है CBSE मॉडल पेपर इंग्लिश का। ठीक है, इंग्लिश इलेक्टिव जो आपके कोर्स आता है उसका एक मॉडल पेपर है। तो उसको हम लोग शुरू करते हैं। कैसे आपको आंसर्स करने हैं, कैसे आपको आंसर्स अटेम्प्ट करने हैं, इससे आपको बहुत आइडिया होगा और आपको बहुत इस चीज़ में हेल्प मिलेगी। चलिए, तो अब हम शुरू करते हैं मॉडल पेपर 2 12 CBSE बोर्ड का। First there will be 3 sections, section A, B and C. First will be reading section. तो reading sections में आपको मिलेंगे कुछ पैराग्राफ्स और कुछ पोएम्स जिसके आपको आंसर्स अटेम्प्ट करने होंगे। ठीक है, तो फर्स्ट सेक्शन में जो कि है हमारा है एक पैराग्राफ जो कि काफी बड़ा पैराग्राफ है। किस चीज से रिलेटेड है? इट इज रिलेटेड टू हिग्स थ्योरी। जो हिग्स है, हिग्स बॉसन की जो थ्योरी है, जो किसने दी है? पीटर हिग्स ने जो थ्योरी दी है। साइंस ही इज अ फिजिसिस्ट है। उनके बारे में कुछ पॉइंट्स बताए गए हैं, इंपॉर्टेंट पॉइंट्स बताएंगे। उससे रिलेटेड पूरा का पूरा पैराग्राफ है कि हाउ हिग्स बॉसन हैज बीन कॉल्ड और मिस कॉल्ड द गॉड ऑफ पार्टिकल। पूरा पैराग्राफ जो है उनसे रिलेटेड है, पीटर हिग्स से रिलेटेड है, जो कि फिजिसिस्ट हैं एडिनबरा यूनिवर्सिटी के। ठीक है, तो ये पैराग्राफ को आपको क्या करना है? बहुत ही डीपली पढ़ना है। यू हैव टू डीप स्टडी दिस पैराग्राफ एंड देन यू विल हैव टू डू द क्वेश्चंस। ओके, it's all about the Higgs and his theory. The third point is also related to some physicist, है ना? तो ये थर्ड एक डिवाइड किया हुआ है। एंड द फोर्थ पार्ट इज अबाउट इंडियंस एंड द रोल ऑफ इंडियन इन फिजिक्स। ये सब चीजें इसके अंदर दी हुई हैं और इससे रिलेटेड हमारे सामने कुछ क्वेश्चंस आएंगे, सच एज बेस्ड ऑन योर रीडिंग ऑफ द पैराग्राफ आंसर 12 आउट ऑफ 15 क्वेश्चन। यू विल हैव टू आंसर 12 क्वेश्चंस आउट ऑफ 15 क्वेश्चंस। ओके, तो हाउ यू विल आंसर? देयर विल बी क्वेश्चंस लाइक दिस। What is the first thing which the narrator knows about Higgs boson? What is the first thing which the narrator knows about Higgs boson? Higgs boson से related जो भी है, नरेटर ने एकदम इंस्टेंटली क्या उसको नोटिस किया, क्या उन्होंने देखा? नरेटर इज जो भी इनको नरेट कर रहा है, जो पैराग्राफ है, जो भी लिखा है, जो भी बात कर रहा है, जो भी बोल रहा है, वो क्या हिग्स बॉसन का उन्होंने फर्स्ट थिंग क्या नोटिस की, तो ये हमें बताना है। दैट the narrator noticed that the Higgs boson named after Peter Higgs। ये हमने बात कर ली है कि Higgs boson जो है, थ्योरी जो है, named after Peter Higgs, he belongs to Edinburgh University, जो कि Edinburgh University के फिजिसिस्ट हैं, प्रोफेसर हैं। ठीक है, तो इस तरीके से you will have to answer. You don't have to give answer like this only. You have to write the narrator noticed that Peter Higgs named the Higgs boson named after Peter Higgs. Okay, you have to write complete answer. What is Bose-Einstein statistics? Bose-Einstein statistics based on quantum statistics. He was born when Bose realized that the statistical method used to analyze most 19th century work on the thermal behavior of gases was inadequate. Okay, this is the question. What is Bose-Einstein statistic? And you will have to answer like this. You will get this answer from the paragraph. How does Sheldon view Ra's country of origin? Diverting enigma and miles away from the popular myth of sign. How does Sheldon view Ra's country of origin? He through a diverting enigma and miles away from the popular myth of science. Okay, next question. What do Van Gogh paintings do to Japanese print? Van Gogh's painting digest the Japanese prints they were responding to. Okay, जापानीज प्रिंट्स को क्या व्हाट डू वैन गो पेंटिंग डू टू जापानीज प्रिंट? वैन गो पेंटिंग डाइजेस्ट the Japanese print they were responding to. Okay, next question. Has India always got the credit for its merits? You have to first read the paragraph carefully and then you have to analyze after reading the paragraph that has India always got the credit for its merit, and you will have to interpret your own answer कि किस तरीके से आपने after पैराग्राफ को रीड करने के बाद में क्या आपने कंक्लूजन निकाला है, उसके आधार पे आपको आंसर करना है. नो, वेरी फ्यू एक्नॉलेजमेंट. इंडियंस को क्या है, बहुत ही फ्यू एक्नॉलेजमेंट मिला है. सच एज ओनली सीवी रमन, केवल जो सीवी रमन है फिजिसिस्ट, only Indian physicist who have won the Nobel Prize. Only C.V. Raman got the Nobel Prize as Indian physicist. So Indian को जो credits है वो बहुत कम मिला है. What do Higgs boson have in common with smallpox vaccine? What do Higgs boson have in common with smallpox vaccine? Both are used in medical radiography. Both are the part of scientific myth and legends now. Both were met with skepticism on their discovery. Both fetched their teams on a Nobel Prize. What will be the answer? Both are part of scientific myths and legends now. Okay? Which statement is not true about boson? Which statement is not true about boson? You have to carefully read the question. There is not. The three will be related to the boson theory and one will be not related to boson theory. They were not discovered by Enrico Fermi. They constitute one class of subatomic particle. It is named after the Indian physicist. It was discovered by Satyendra Nath Bose. It was discovered by Satyendra Nath Bose. So this is how you will interpret this answer, that it is not named after Satyendra Nath Bose. It is named after Peter Higgs. Okay. Choose the word which is an apt synonym of the word ignoramus used in para 2. You will get this hint also, that ignoramus का synonym क्या होगा? Idiot, intelligent, idealist, ingenious. So ignoramus is idiot. Okay. So synonyms and antonyms you will have to understand also. Synonyms is same and antonym is just opposite. How are historic scientific concepts made understandable for people? How are historic scientific concepts made understandable for people? By printing short introductory courses, by comparing it with other scientific discoveries, by locating science in personalities, social and culture traditions, by revising the country's educational structure. So, by locating science in personalities, social and cultural traditions. So, this will be the answer. Next question is, based on the reading of the passage, which statement are correct about Higgs boson? Which statement are correct? You will get 1, 2, 3 or options like this, and you will have to find out what are the correct options. They are called God of particles. Yes. Philip Anderson's study provided the original insight. This concept is easily understood by common people. A physicist from Edinburgh University made the discovery. It was discovered by Albert Einstein. Which one are correct? They are called God of particle. Yes. Philip Anderson study provided the original insight, and it was and a physicist from Edinburgh University made the discovery. So 1, 2 and 4 are correct. So this option is correct. Which field of physics was S.N. Bose working on? Quantum mechanics, electromagnetism, geophysics, acoustic. So quantum mechanics was the field where S.N. Bose was working on. Which scientist, mathematician out of the following won the Nobel Prize? J.C. Bose, C.V. Raman, Srinivasa Ramanujan, S.N. Bose. So C.V. Raman, we have already discussed that C.V. Raman was the only Indian who got the Nobel Prize. What is Srinivasa Ramanujan known for the popular culture? What is Srinivasa Ramanujan known for in the popular culture? Mathematical genius for the formulation of game theory, Hindu idiosyncratism, troubled stain, Cambridge for devising another explanation for chaos theory. So first you will have to read the paragraph and then you will have to analyze, and the answer is 1, 3 and 4. 1, 3 and 4. Mathematical genius, Hindu idiosyncratism, and fourth is troubled stay in Cambridge. The conclusion of third paragraph highlights that you should also know how you have to derive the conclusion. Conclusion कैसे निकालना है ये भी आपको पता होना चाहिए. The conclusion of third paragraph highlights that Western art grants recognition of all its inspirations. Van Gogh painted Japanese prints. Western arts subsumes all the influences under it. Van Gogh and Tollhouse Laureus are post-impressionist painters. What will be the answer? Western art subsumes all the influences under it. Why did J.C. Bose deserve a Nobel? Why did J.C. Bose deserve a Nobel? His research and findings on wireless started before Marconi. His research and findings on wireless started before Marconi. As per the जो पैराग्राफ हमने पढ़ा है उसके अकॉर्डिंग है. ठीक है, तो नेक्स्ट अगेन वी विल गेट अ पैराग्राफ. वी हैव टू रीड द पैसेज एंड आंसर द गिवन क्वेश्चंस. So there is a poem, beautiful poem. When you see me sitting quietly like a sack left on the shelf, don't think I need your chattering. I am listening to myself. Hold, stop, don't pity me. Hold, stop your sympathy. Understanding if you got it, otherwise I will do without it. When my bones are stiff and aching and my feet won't climb the stair, I will not ask one favor. Don't bring me no rocking chair. When you see me walking stumbling, don't study and get it wrong. Cause tired don't mean lazy. Tired don't mean lazy, and every goodbye ain't gone. So this is a beautiful poem. One stanza more. I am the same person I was back then. A little less hair, a little less chin, a lot less lungs and much less wind. But aren't I lucky I can still breathe in. So this is a beautiful poem by Maya Angelou. She's talking about aging, effects of aging. She's sitting alone, she don't want anyone else, and she's just wanted to be herself. वो अपने आप के साथ में रहना ज़्यादा पसंद कर रही है इस एज में, and she don't want any kind of pity from any other else. और इस टाइप की ये पोएम है, बहुत ही प्यारी पोएम है. इसके कुछ क्वेश्चंस हैं, ये देख लेते हैं हम किस टाइप के आपके सामने क्वेश्चंस आने वाले हैं. What does the poet think she look like when sitting quietly? अब लाइन पूरी की पूरी पोएम से दी हुई है और वी हैव टू फाइंड द एग्जैक्ट लाइन. लाइक अ सैक, शी poet think that she looks like a sack when sitting quietly. Okay, you don't have to write only this point, you have to write the whole answer like this. The poet think that she looks like a sack while sitting quietly. Does the poet invite pity? Quote a line support your argument. No, poet does not invite pity, and the line is hold, stop, don't pity me. She don't want any kind of pity. She just want to sit quietly. She don't want to talk to anyone else. This is the gist of the poem. She want to be herself. She want to meditate herself, contemplate. What has changed in the poet over the course of year? Less hair, chin and breathing capacity. She became old, and with the passage of years, her hairs become less, her chin become thin, and she is facing some problem in breathing capacity. In her breathing capacity, her lungs are getting deprivated, and she is feeling very painful during breathing. Pick out the word from the second stanza which means flattering. ऐसा वर्ड हमें निकालना है सेकंड स्टेंजा से जिसका मीनिंग क्या निकलता हो, फ्लैटरिंग, दैट इज स्टम्बलिंग. शी डोंट वांट एनी काइंड ऑफ फ्लैटरिंग, शी डोंट वांट एनी काइंड ऑफ स्टम्बलिंग. व्हाई डज द पोएट कंसीडर हरसेल्फ लकी? At this particular age, when she is losing her hair, she is facing some problem in breathing also, but still she consider herself as a lucky. Why so? Because she is lucky to be still, because she is still breathing, she is still alive. Despite her old age, she is still alive, she is still facing problems, but she is still alive. Based on the careful reading of the passage given below, answer any 4 out of the questions that follow. There is a passage, and we will have to answer the passage. The passage is about climate change and global warming, how these things are become the biggest threat for our nation, for our country, for whole over the earth, and how rising industrialization, urbanization, deforestation, etc. are hazarding our natural ecosystem. This is the whole paragraph about this global warming and climate change. There is points related to carbon and carbon dioxide also. So this kind of paragraph, this is a scientific paragraph related to science, and we will have to answer some questions. You will get some questions like this. What is the key to defining our future? What is the key to defining our future? Based on the paragraph, we will answer the means employed to control pollution. That means employed to control resources. That means employed to control state policies. The means employed to educate masses. So the means employed to control pollution. This is all about the pollution and the pollution hazards caused by the pollution. And the key, what we got the key is control, how we will control the pollution. Which of the following elements are not responsible for endangering natural ecosystem? Which of the following elements are not responsible for endangering natural ecosystem? Deforestation, inflation, industrialization, urbanization. So inflation will be the answer. Okay. According to the passage, economy and carbon emissions have been to each other for last 15 years. According to the passage, we will have to tell that economy and carbon emission क्या है, एक दूसरे के proportional है, inversely proportionate है, directly proportionate है, they are not related to each other, they are disproportionate. So directly proportionate, they are directly proportionate. Name the institute responsible for observing and recording earth टेम्परेचर ओवर द ईयर्स. कौन सा ऐसा रिस्पॉन्सिबल है जो कि सबसे ज़्यादा टेम्परेचर जो है वो क्रिएट कर रहा है? नेशनल ऐसे इंस्टीट्यूट की हमें बताना है. नेशनल ऑर्गेनिक एंड एटमॉस्फेरिक एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन, नेशनल ऑर्गेनिक एंड एटमॉस्फेरिक नेशनल ओशनिक एंड एटमॉस्फेरिक एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन, नॉर्थ ऑर्गेनिक एंड एटमॉस्फेरिक एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन, नेशनल offshore and atmospheric administration. We will have to answer according to the paragraph. जो paragraph में जो हमें point मिला है उसके according हमें answer देना है, and the answer will be National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. Carbon dioxide measurement stood at the past per million in 2007 is 378. Rewrite the sentences according to the instructions given each attempt 8 out of the 10 question, you will get one sentence, and you will have to rewrite that sentence in different way, and you will get a hint also, like this. Annie paid a heavy price for her recklessness. You you will have to begin? You will have to begin with it. It was a heavy price which Anna paid for her recklessness. Okay? It was a heavy price which Anna paid for her recklessness. Okay? This is the section B. Okay? First we have completed the section A, that is the reading section. The section B is related to writing section. Here we will get some questions related to our writing skills, how we will improve our writing skills. Okay, so this is this kind of question you will receive. You will have to rewrite the sentences according to the instructions given. For example, Anna paid a heavy price for her recklessness. We will have to begin the statement with it. And how we will write? It was a heavy price which Anna paid for her recklessness. Okay. Second is, he does not intended to leave the company. And how we will have to start our point intention with our intention. The main point is intended को change करके यहाँ पे कर दिया है intention, and we will have to modify the sentence and by using intention. He has no intention of leaving the company. He has no intention of leaving the company. The third question is, do you want some more ice cream or slice of cake? Asked my aunt. Do you want some more ice cream or slice of cake? Asked my aunt. We will have to begin my aunt asked, and how we will answer? My aunt asked me whether I wanted some more ice cream or a slice of cake. This is a kind of active passivization of the sentence. Both the players are not adequately prepared for the tournament, and we will have to use neither. Okay, neither of the players is adequately prepared for the tournament. That need not happen. That need not happen, and we will have to rewrite using does. That does not need to happen. Does that need to happen? That does not need to happen. Does that need to happen? These are the two types of question statement you can create by using does. This horse is better trained than yours. This horse is better trained than yours. Your horse is not so well trained as his horse. The teacher asked, how many of you think the answer is correct? The teacher asked, how many of you think the answer is correct? And how we will have to write the sentence? By using indirect speech. We will have to use rewrite the sentence by using indirect speech. And how we can make the sentence? The teacher asked how many of them thought their answer was correct. The teacher asked how many of them thought their answer was correct. She opened the kitchen door and a cockroach ran out. And with cockroach, we will have to end our statement, our sentence with cockroach. She opened the kitchen door and out ran a cockroach. We have to modify the whole sentence and we have to end our sentence with cockroach. Then how we will make our sentence? She opened the kitchen door and out ran a cockroach. Suresh suddenly thought of a splendid idea, and we will have to end the sentence with Suresh. Suresh suddenly thought of a splendid idea. Suddenly a splendid idea came to Suresh. Okay? Suddenly a splendid idea came to Suresh. Attempt any 3 questions. This is the next question. Attempt any 3 out of the following 4 questions, and we will have to write in 120 to 150 words each. In the first solved papers, we have discussed the whole concept of how we will have to write an answer application, how we will have to write a letter. This time we will only discuss the framework of that particular application, letter, reports. Okay, so we competency based involving analysis, interpretation and application, this kind of question we are getting. Competency based involving analysis, we will get interpretation in this type of question. We can also get application. Okay, and what we have to do, we have to write this answer in 120 to 150 words each. So this is the question. First, the 5 S's of sports training are stamina, speed, strength, skill and spirit. But the greatest of these is spirit. This statement is given by Ken Doherty. Ken Doherty. This statement is given by Ken Doherty that the 5 S of sports training are stamina, speed, strength, skill and spirit. But the greatest of these is spirit. That means that spirit is everything, है ना. हर एक चीज आप में एक हो सकती है कि बहुत अच्छा आप में स्टेमिना हो, बहुत अच्छा आपके अंदर स्पीड हो, स्ट्रेंथ हो, स्किल हो, बट स्पिरिट नहीं होगी तो कुछ नहीं होगा. तो स्पिरिट, इंपॉर्टेंस ऑफ स्पिरिट बताया है कैन डॉहर्टी ने. एंड more lessons are learnt on the sports field than in the classroom. और उन्होंने ये भी कहा है कि जो बहुत काफ़ी lessons हैं जो कि हम सीख सकते हैं कहाँ पे, स्पोर्ट्स फील्ड पे, rather than a classroom. classroom से ज़्यादा हम ज़्यादा lessons कहाँ पे सीख सकते हैं, life lessons, where we can learn life lessons when we go to practical एरिया, प्रैक्टिकल सराउंडिंग. कहाँ पे हम लोग सीख सकते हैं, प्रैक्टिकल सराउंडिंग्स पे हम लोग ने लाइफ के लेसन सीख सकते हैं. क्लासरूम में हम क्या कर सकते हैं, क्लासरूम में हम बुकिश नॉलेज ले सकते हैं, बट व्हेन वी हैव टू अप्लाई दैट बुकिश नॉलेज वी हैव टू गो आउटर वर्ल्ड. हमें बाहर के वर्ल्ड में जाना पड़ेगा. ठीक है, तो स्पोर्ट्स फील्ड में हम लोग ज्यादा लेसन सीख सकते हैं, लाइफ लेसन सीख सकते हैं. नाउ व्हाट यू विल हैव टू डू, द क्वेश्चन इज दैट write a magazine article. You will have to write a magazine article for your school magazine expressing your views. आपको अपने views बताने हैं. You have to tell your views that how spirit is everything, what is the role, what is the importance of spirit in while doing any kind of sport, and how we can learn life lessons in sport field or outer world. You have to write your own views. So I will just discuss how you can create a framework and how you can write your answer. Okay, so how we can, you have to first tell sport teach framework. क्या क्या sports में what you can do. You can also discuss how sports teach us teamwork. What are the how sports help us in problem solving skill, how sports can teach us how we can solve our problem, how sports boost self esteem, कैसे हमें स्पोर्ट्स हमें सेल्फ एस्टीम सिखाता है, कैसे हमें स्पोर्ट्स सेल्फ डिसिप्लिन सिखाता है. ये सब पॉइंट्स जो हैं आप इसको एक्सप्लेन करके लिख सकते हैं एंड यू कैन राइट योर ब्यूटीफुल आंसर. ओके, सेल्फ डिसिप्लिन सिखाता है, टाइम मैनेजमेंट स्पोर्ट्स हमें सिखाता है, टाइम मैनेजमेंट सिखाता है, बेटर टाइम बताता है, टाइम मैनेजमेंट सिखाता है. स्पोर्ट्स ऑल्सो एंथुजियास्ट में डू वेल एकेडमिकली, एंथुजियास्टिक बनाता है हमें और हमें मोटिवेट करता है टू डू वेल एकेडमिकली ऑल्सो. स्पोर्ट्स अगर हम कर रहे हैं, कोई ना कोई एक स्पोर्ट अगर हम कर रहे हैं तो हमें क्या होगा, वी विल ऑल्सो गेट गुड इन एकेडमिक्स ऑल्सो. Sports also helps in development of interpersonal skill. Sports हमें interpersonal skills में भी help करता है. It helps make diverse social connection and it also help us in diverging our social connections and post lockdown. और ये बात बहुत important है. अभी आप लोग अगर 2022 और 23 के स्टूडेंट्स हैं तो डेफिनेटली आपको इस चीज़ का पता लगेगा कि हाउ पोस्ट लॉकडाउन में स्पोर्ट्स ने हमारा कैसे इंपॉर्टेंस हमारे लिए बढ़ गया है, स्पोर्ट्स का, आउटर वर्ल्ड का, आउटर सराउंडिंग्स का, कि पोस्ट लॉकडाउन में स्पोर्ट्स ने हमें मोटिवेट रहने में कितनी हेल्प की है. स्पोर्ट्स हैव assumed greater importance, और स्पोर्ट्स के जो भी इम्पोर्टेंस हैं वो आपको अपने जो आंसर राइटिंग में है वो इंक्लूड करने हैं, एंड यू विल हैव टू जस्टिफाई दिस स्टेटमेंट ऑल्सो. सो दिस इज हाउ यू कैन राइट योर आंसर ब्रीफली एंड ब्यूटिफुली. Keep in mind about the words limit also. The second question is also a statement, and you will have to analyze this statement. It's a dialogue, not a monologue, and some people don't understand that social media is more like a telephone than a television. Social media is more like a telephone than a television. देखो डायलॉग क्या होता है? व्हाट इज द डायलॉग? डायलॉग इज व्हेन टू पीपल आर कम्युनिकेटिंग, व्हेन द कम्युनिकेशन इज बीइंग टू वे. जब दो लोग एक दूसरे से बात कर रहे हो, डाई इज टू. व्हेन टू पीपल आर कम्युनिकेटिंग टू ईच अदर, दैट मीन्स डायलॉग. एंड व्हाट इज मोनोलॉग? Monologue is when you are talking to yourself, you think that the people in front of you is passive listener, that person is not responding any kind of response, he is not giving any kind of response, that is monologue. And now this statement is saying that social media is more like telephone. Telephone पे क्या होता है? We are doing dialogues, we are doing जो हम बात कर रहे हैं उसका रिस्पॉन्स भी हमें मिलेगा. तो इस स्टेटमेंट का मतलब क्या हो गया कि सोशल मीडिया जो है वो टेलीफोन की तरह है, यानी कि इट इज अ काइंड ऑफ डायलॉग दैन अ टेलीविजन. टेलीविजन में क्या होता है? सिर्फ सामने वाला क्या हो रहा है, देख रहा है, उसको सुन रहा है, उसको अंडरस्टैंड कर रहा है, ग्रैस्प कर रहा है, बट वी आर नॉट रिस्पॉन्डिंग. हम बोल के कोई चीज रिस्पॉन्ड नहीं कर रहे हैं, वी आर जस्ट लिसनिंग. तो टेलीविजन में हम लोग क्या हो जाते हैं? इट बिकेम मोनोलॉग, कि टेलीविजन में जो चीजें हैं बस वही वो बोली जा रही हैं, बट टेलीफोन पे क्या होता है? वी आर ऑल्सो रिस्पॉन्डिंग. तो सोशल मीडिया जो है, इनका कहने का क्या मतलब है, एमी जो मार्टिन का, कि सोशल मीडिया जो है वहां पे आप बोलते हैं उसका रिस्पॉन्स भी आपको मिलेगा, बल्कि टेलीविजन पे जो है आप एक पैसिव लिसनर बन के रह जाएंगे. ठीक है. कीपिंग द अबाउ कोट इन माइंड, डिस्कस द प्रोज एंड कॉन्स ऑफ सोशल मीडिया pervading all parts of our life in form of an article for a e-journal in 120 to 150 words. We will have to write an article. हमें एक आर्टिकल लिखना है फॉर e-journal के लिए, और हमें क्या बताना है? हमें बताना है कि सोशल मीडिया के प्रोज एंड कॉन्स. वी ऑल नो दैट एक सिक्के के दो पहलू होते हैं, हेड एंड टेल. अगर कुछ अच्छी बातें हैं सोशल मीडिया में तो कुछ बुरी बातें हैं, अगर कुछ बुरी पॉइंट्स हैं, कॉन्स हैं, तो प्रोज ऑल्सो, देयर आर प्रोज ऑल्सो. ठीक है. तो व्हाट वी हैव टू डू, वी हैव टू एनालाइज दैट पर्टिकुलर स्टेटमेंट एंड वी विल हैव टू आंसर राइट एन आर्टिकल बाय using the pros and cons of social media. Okay, so how you can write your article, what kind of points you can use in your article, which kind of language you can use in your article, this is how I am discussing here. You will have to write first what is social media. You have to discuss what is social media, what are the important sites that youth use, how social media is used as a tool of communication, how we can use social media as a tool of communication, how social media is a place for conversation, है ना? How social media became the place where we can conversate with each other. It is not just for one-way monologue. Social media is not just a monologue, it is a kind of dialogue where whatever we are saying, we will also get a response of it. Okay, it is not a monologue, it is a kind of dialogue. Very important to be keep in mind, powerful. It is social media is very powerful, and then you will have to write 3 to 4 lines about the powerfulness of social media. What are the positive things you can do with the social media, how you can get a job or how you can get a good communication through social media. You will have to discuss that also. If benefits, harmful recursion also, और इसके कुछ benefits भी हैं, we will discuss the benefits also, and also we will have to discuss the harmful problems created by social media. Okay, at the end of our article we will discuss some kind of harmful repercussions of social media. Okay, this is how you will write your article for a e-journal. You have to keep in mind that you should not exceed from 120 to 150 words. Okay. Again we will get questions like this. Failure is an inescapable part of life and critically important part of any successful life. Failure क्या है? It is a inescapable part of life and critically important part of any successful life. Describe and transformative failure you faced and how it changed you. Very beautiful question, बहुत प्यारा क्वेश्चन है, बहुत अच्छा क्वेश्चन है आपके सामने कि फेलियर जो है, कभी हम क्या होती है असफलता हमें कभी किसी चीज की मिलती है ना, तो वो क्या है, ऐसा हिस्सा है लाइफ का, ऐसा पार्ट है लाइफ का जिसको हम नकार नहीं सकते, एस्केप नहीं कर सकते, जिससे हम भाग नहीं सकते हैं. ठीक है, अभी कोई भी चीज हो, कोई भी अगर हम काम कर रहे होंगे तो जरूरी नहीं है कि हमें हर एक पॉइंट पे, हर एक जगह पे हमें सक्सेस ही मिले. काफी बार ऐसा होता है कि हमें फेलियर्स भी मिलते हैं. ठीक है, और ये हमें फेलियर्स, अगर हम उसको डीमोटिवेट हो जाएंगे फेलियर्स को लेके, तो क्या होगा, हम बहुत ही अनसक्सेसफुल हो जाएंगे. लेकिन कैसे लेना उसको, हाउ वी कैन टेक आवर फेलियर्स इन पॉजिटिव वे, हाउ फेलियर्स आर इम्पॉर्टेंट पार्ट ऑफ सक्सेसफुल लाइफ. फेलियर से अगर कुछ आप सीख रहे हो, कुछ नई चीज सीख रहे हो, कुछ नया काम कर रहे हो, फेलियर से नया आप पॉइंट सीख रहे हो कि ये मैंने गलती की थी और आने वाले टाइम में मैं ये गलती पिछली बार की थी तो आने वाले टाइम में नहीं करूंगा, तो वो आपके लाइफ का, सक्सेसफुल लाइफ का एक हिस्सा भी बन जाते हैं, पार्ट भी बन जाते हैं, जो कि आपको हेल्प करते हैं आपके सक्सेसफुल लाइफ में. Now what you will have to do, you have to describe your own feeling about how you have to tell your own feeling about your failure you got. सभी को कोई ना कोई पॉइंट पे लाइफ में ऐसा होता है कि आपने उस पॉइंट पे फेलियर फेस किया, आपने उस पॉइंट को कैसे रिकवर किया अपने आप को. You will have to transformative failure of faced and how you changed. हाउ इट चेंज यू. आपको ये डिस्क्राइब करना है, बताना है कि जो फेलियर आपने लाइफ में फेस किया है उससे आप कैसे उभरे और कैसे आपने उसको अपनी सक्सेसफुल लाइफ में चेंज किया और उस फेलियर ने आपको कैसे चेंज कर दिया. यू हैव टू राइट दैट थिंग. ओके, सो हाउ यू कैन, आप फर्स्ट कुछ पॉइंट्स हैं वो मैं डिस्कस कर लेती हूँ, कैसे आप अपने आंसर्स को लिखेंगे. व्हाट यू हैव टू डू, यू हैव टू एनालाइज योर फेलियर, कि एनालिसिस ऑफ फेलियर, कि आप एनालाइज करेंगे फेलियर को कि किस तरीके से फेलियर जो होता है इज नॉट ऑलवेज हार्मफुल. फेलियर जो होता है हमें कुछ ना कुछ लेसन्स ही दे के जाता है, फेलियर्स जो होते हैं, और हमें कुछ ना कुछ सिखा के जाते हैं, कुछ लाइफ लेसन्स दे के जाते हैं, हमारे लाइफ के पार्ट के, सक्सेसफुल लाइफ के पार्ट्स होते हैं. ये हम बताएंगे, एनालाइज करेंगे फेलियर को. पर्सनल एक्सपीरियंस ऑफ फेलियर, आपको अपने, देन यू विल हैव टू इंटरप्रिटेट योर पर्सनल एक्सपीरियंस ऑफ फेलियर. हाउ, एट व्हाट पॉइंट यू फेल्ड, कहाँ, कौन सा ऐसा पॉइंट आया आपकी लाइफ में जहाँ पे आप फेल हो गए, आपको अनसक्सेस मिली, फेलियर मिला, और आपने कैसे उसको इमीडिएट रिएक्शन, आपका क्या रिएक्शन था आफ्टर फेसिंग दैट पर्टिकुलर फेलियर, आपका क्या रिएक्शन था, क्या आपने किया, क्या आपने पॉजिटिव पॉइंट्स अपने आप में इंक्लूड किए, या क्या आपने उस चीज से घबराया, या फिर आप मोटिवेट हुए, कौन सा ऐसा ह्यूमन था या कौन सा ऐसा एक आइडियल था जो कि आपको उस अनसक्सेसफुल टाइम में या उस फेलियर के टाइम में जिन्होंने आपको बहुत मोटिवेट किया, हेल्प किया, वो आप ऑल्सो इंक्लूड कर सकते हैं. हाउ दैट पर्टिकुलर फेलियर ट्रांसफॉर्म्ड you and experienced after that, and how you have to write your own experience after that particular failure. Okay, this is how you have to write that answer. You have to incorporate all these points and you can make your writing effective by using that kind of points. So next question is, the prerequisite of being a hero has undergone a huge change over the years. Describe in about 120 to 150 words that qualities do Gen Z admire and look for when they envision their hero. The prerequisites of being a hero has undergone a huge change. जो पहले हम लोग सोचते थे कि हीरो जो होता है वो किस तरीके का होता है, ठीक है, एक थॉट प्रोसेस हो कि हीरो में ये क्वालिटीज होनी चाहिए, हीरोइक क्वालिटीज होनी चाहिए, पहले हम लोग ये सोचते थे. बट नाउ द क्वालिटीज हैज चेंज्ड एंड एज पर Gen X admire and look for when they envision their, as per the Gen Z, आपको कैसे हीरोज एडमायर करते हैं Gen Z और उनका क्या क्या क्वालिटीज होने चाहिए, दिस इज हाउ यू विल हैव टू राइट. कैसे लिखना? फर्स्ट यू विल हैव टू राइट द डेफिनेशन ऑफ हीरो. क्या है एज पर योर नोशन, व्हाट इज अ हीरो? आपके अकॉर्डिंग हीरो कौन होता है? क्या उसमें हीरो क्वालिटीज होनी चाहिए? हाउ द प्रोसेस ऑफ चेंज इन हीरोज फिगर. हीरो हमेशा से देयर इज नो बॉर्न हीरो. कोई ऐसी पॉइंट होता है लाइफ में, कोई ऐसा एक्टिविटी होती है, कोई ऐसा ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन होता है जो कि किसी ह्यूमन बीइंग को हीरो बना देता है. तो वो जो ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन है वो हमें डिस्कस करना है. द प्रोसेस ऑफ चेंज इन हीरोज फिगर, what has been added now and not essential now. We will have to add also कि अभी के हीरो, अभी जो 21st सेंचुरी का जो हीरो है वो किस टाइप का होना चाहिए और 21st सेंचुरी के जो हीरो है उसमें क्या नहीं होना चाहिए, जरूरत नहीं है जो ऑलरेडी था. द रीजंस फॉर सच चॉइसेस, और ऐसे जो आपने पॉइंट्स क्रिएट किए हैं उनके लिए क्या रीजंस हैं चूज करने के, ऐसे जो पॉइंट्स आपने इंक्लूड किए हैं उसके लिए. तो दिस इज हाउ यू कैन राइट, इनकॉर्पोरेट दिस काइंड ऑफ पॉइंट्स इन योर आंसर. Next question is, attempt any one of the two questions in 120 to 150 words. The question is, mental illness after 19% of adult population, 46% of teenagers and 13% of children each year. However, only half of those affected receive treatment, often because of the stigma attached to the mental health. Draft a speech discussing importance of mental health awareness and effective strategies to promote mental health. This is the question is about mental illness और कैसे mental illness जो है वो increase हो रहा है, कैसे adult हैं जो कि adult है, 19% of adult जो है mental इलनेस को फेस कर रहे हैं, 46% ऑफ टीनेजर्स हैं जो कि फेस कर रहे हैं, 13% ऑफ चिल्ड्रन हैं जो कि एवरी ईयर मेंटल इलनेस से गुजरते हैं. तो उसके लिए हमें व्हाट वी हैव टू डू, वी हैव टू ड्राफ्ट अ स्पीच. हमें एक स्पीच क्रिएट करनी है, ड्राफ्ट करनी है, जिसमें कि हमें क्या बताना है. वी विल हैव टू टेल मेंटल हेल्थ अवेयरनेस एंड इफेक्टिव स्ट्रेटजीज टू प्रमोट मेंटल हेल्थ. क्या करेंगे आप, किस तरीके से अपना स्पीच क्रिएट करेंगे? आप इंट्रोडक्शन देंगे और क्या 3 पॉइंट्स में आपका क्या होगा, स्पीच होगा. फर्स्ट देयर विल बी एन इंट्रोडक्शन, द सेकंड पॉइंट विल बी बॉडी ऑफ द स्पीच एंड द थर्ड पॉइंट इज कंक्लूजन. देयर आर 1, 2 and 3 parts of speech. First you will have to introduce yourself and your speech and your topic, and then you will have to write the body of the particular speech, and then you will have to conclude that particular speech. कैसे आप वैल्यू पॉइंट्स कैसे ऐड करेंगे उसके अंदर? फर्स्ट कैसे शुरू करेंगे उसको? वे टू एजुकेट द पब्लिक अबाउट मेंटल हेल्थ. आप उसमें इंक्लूड करेंगे कि व्हाट आर द बेसिक वेज टू एजुकेट द पब्लिक अबाउट मेंटल इलनेस. आप कैसे मेंटल इलनेस को जो है पब्लिक को एजुकेट करोगे? मिसकंसेप्शंस एंड स्टिग्मा सराउंडिंग द मेंटल हेल्थ इश्यूज. मेंटल हेल्थ इश्यूज से रिलेटेड जो भी मिसकंसेप्शंस हैं, जो भी स्टिग्मास हैं सराउंडिंग आपके आसपास के एरिया में, उसको आप डिस्कस करोगे. यू विल ऑल्सो रेज अवेयरनेस सराउंडिंग रिसर्च एंड ट्रीटमेंट्स. Okay, you will also discuss that in your speech. Reduce the stigma associated with mental illness. You will also give some points so that you can reduce the stigma associated with mental illness. Education about the reality of living and mental illness condition. आप एजुकेशन क्या क्या आपके एजुकेशनल पॉइंट हो सकते हैं, और रियलिटी ऑफ लिविंग विद मेंटल इलनेस हेल्थ कंडीशन. आप अपना कोई पॉइंट भी बता सकते हैं जिसके अंदर आप क्या बताएंगे कि हाउ यू डील विद लिविंग विद अ मेंटल इलनेस कंडीशन. ओके, दिस इज हाउ यू विल हैव टू राइट योर स्पीच. दीज आर द पॉइंट्स you can incorporate in your speech. Second question is ways and means of INC and organization engaged in personality development programs organized a leadership training workshop in your school recently. Write a report about 150 to 200 words. Just अभी आपकी एक organization है जो कि पर्सनैलिटी डेवलपमेंट का प्रोग्राम किया, ऑर्गेनाइज्ड लीडरशिप ट्रेनिंग वर्कशॉप इन योर स्कूल, आप जस्ट आपके लीडरशिप वर्कशॉप्स रिसेंटली अभी किया है, वर्कशॉप ट्रेनिंग किया है. राइट अ रिपोर्ट अबाउट 150 to 200 वर्ड्स. What we have to do, we have to write a report. Okay, how you will write your report? First you will have to, what you have to do, you have to give an heading here, then you will have to write the school or college's name, then you will write your own name, and then what heading by line पे heading देना है आपको. Then place, date. The report should concern itself with, किससे related होनी चाहिए report? Who, when, what, how. These are the concerning point. The report should be concerned with who, when, what and how. And at the last of the you should also incorporate the observation given observation observed by yourself. You have to write comments of chief guest, eyewitness and spectators. Okay, these are the points you should know about report. Okay, the framework is that this is the page, you have to write your heading, then name and name of school, then your name, date and time and place, and then you will write your body of the report and thank you. Okay, choose any one extract and answer the question as follow. Okay, this is the C section. The C section is also related to literature. Okay, the C section. Now we reach to C section. The choose any one extract and answer the question that follows. As the first, this is a poem. As the first were made to blind others, these which come behind will work upon ourselves and blind our eyes. If our loves faint and westwardly decline, to me thou fastlessly thin, and I to thee mine actions shall disguise. The morning shadows wear away, but these grow longer all the day. But oh love, stay in short, if love decay, love is growing or full constant light, and his first minute after noon is night. What does the poet mean by the first? Poet means by the first is noon, shadow. Second question is, how are the first different from other that follow? How are the first different from others that follow? In the first, lovers still care and love each other despite waning of the physical attraction. What is meant by love declining westward? What is meant by love declining westward? Like the sun setting westward, the love between the poet and the lovers decline. Okay, as per the poem, we will have to answer the questions like this. Like the sun setting westward, the love between the poet and lovers decline. What does morning shadows represents? What does morning shadows represents? He and his beloved will not remain true to each other. Morning shadow represents that he and his beloved will not remain true to each other. Hence, both the lovers will become obvious to each other. Hence, both the lovers will become obvious to each other. What is the night symbolic of? What is the night symbolic of? Morning shadows represent night, symbolic of darkness. Night is symbolic of darkness, comes in lives of lovers due to death of their love. How darkness come in between the two lovers and how their love is declining due to course of time. Which word is an apt synonym of thine? Which word is apt synonym of thine? Ours, yours, hers, theirs. Yours. Thee, thine and thou are related to you, your and yours. The second poem is, but oh, that deep romantic chiasm which slanted down the green hill, Adwal, Sidran cover, a savage place as holy and enchanted as over beneath a waning moon was haunted by women wailing for her demon lover, and from this chaos with ceaseless turmoil seething as if this earth in the fast thick pants were breathing. A mighty fountain momently was forced, amid whose swift half intermediate burst. Huge fragments vaulted like rebounding hail. O chaffy grain beneath the thresher's frail. This is a poem. And mid these dancing rocks at once and ever, each flung up momently the sacred river. 5 miles meandering with the many mazy motions, though wood and dale the sacred river ran. Then reached the cavernous, measureless to man, and sank in tumult to the lifeless ocean. And mid this tumult Kubla hears from far ancestral voice prophesying war. This is the beautiful poem Kubla Khan. How is the chiasm described in this line? The deep chiasm slanted down hills with occasional powerful burst of water. Second question is, what did Kubla Khan hear from afar? What did Kubla Khan hear from afar? The ancestral prophecies of our Kubla Khan को क्या सुनाई दिया? क्या उन्होंने आज नींद में क्या सुनाई दिया उनको? And ancestral prophecies of war उनको सुनाई दिया कि वार होने वाली है. Which sacred river is being referred in the lines above? Elf River. Elf River is discussed in the line, referred in the line. What are the burst of water compared to? What are the burst of water compared to? Rebounding hail and chaffy grain. Rebounding hail and chaffy grain. What does the phrase by women wailing for diamond lover means? What does the phrase by women wailing for diamond lover mean? A woman in love with a diamond who had deserted her, much distrusted by his discretion, she mourns her absence. An apt synonym for the word savage is, savage के लिए synonym बताना है हमें, we have to tell the synonym for savage is civilized, vagabond, severe, ferocious, and the answer is civilized. Choose any one extract on the, and answer the question that follows. This is the extract. During the morning, nobody worried about car encrusted on the wall, for people assumed it was one of those who had been parked on the pavement. ये कुछ एक paragraph है and we have to write the answers after reading the paragraph. Who wore gold ring? Frau Farida. Frau Farida. How did she make her living? She earned her living by working as a psychic. She told her dream. What state was she discovered in? Her body was crushed as a result of massive blow of the wave. Why did the author mention the snake ring? Why did the author mention the snake ring? Snake ring proved very important in the narrators recognizing the women as Frau Farida. This is from the paragraph we read. Why did no one bother about the damaged car? Why did no one bother about the damaged car? No one bothered about the damaged car because they thought that there were no occupants. It was just a wreckage. Which word can be good synonym for brutal? Brutal के लिए synonym बताना है. Brash, ebullient, cruel, crass. So cruel and brutal are synonym to each other. Second is पढ़ लेते हैं. It's a very small. He was tall, slim, blonde, blue-eyed. His hair was thinning, had turned somewhat grey, but he managed to disguise these signs of age. He stooped a little, but in company was quite to straighten up. Years ago in Germany, he had worn a monocle. This is the short paragraph passage. Who does he refer to? Dr. Margolin. Dr. Margolin. What signs of age were evident on him? Grey and thinning hair, and he stooped also. But in company was quick to straighten up. What does this phrase mean? But in company was quick to straighten up. What does this phrase reflect about him? Very careful about his public image, how he appeared to others, took great pride in appearance. Pick out the words from the extract which means to conceal one's appearance by using wigs and glasses, etc. So, wigs और glasses से हम क्या कर सकते हैं? अपने आप को conceal कैसे कर सकते हैं? We can disguise. What had happened to his uncle? His uncle had been perished during the Jewish genocide in Germany. His uncle had been perished during the Jewish genocide in Germany. Give a brief description of him. We will have to give a brief description. Dr. Mengolin was skilled and respected physician. He was a poor man's son who had risen in life due to his hard work and intelligence. He was called a prodigy in childhood. Answer any one of the following two questions in 30 to 40 words. These are the short answer type questions. What do the swans in the poem The Wild Swan at Cole symbolize? These are the poems prescribed in your syllabus, and these are the questions related to that poems. What do the swans in the poem The Wild Swans at Cole symbolizes? The white swans at Cole symbolize a symbol of beauty, energy and permanence. Also remind the poet of pains of getting old and inevitability of death. What type of relationship does Evelyn have with Frank? A strange relationship. Evelyn and Frank had a strange relationship, suggesting a difference of class. There seems to be an emotional gap too. Evelyn views Frank as rescue her from her father. Answer any one of the following two questions in 50 to 60 words. These are the short questions. What were the thoughts racing in Dr. Margolin's mind when he sat at the back of the taxi? Dr. Margolin thought about the place the taxi was taking him, was musing on why God created dictators like Hitler's on Stalin. What is the purpose behind World War, and also we will also incorporate what is the purpose behind World War and deadly illness. Why did the author think that Frau Farida's dream were a struggle for surviving? Did he believe her prophetic ability? Her conversation made it clear that dream by dream she had taken over the entire fortune. Her patterns in Vienna, authors knew that they were no more than strengnum, as she said. She said that she sold them for a living, and she realized the reality behind her interpretations. Interpreted dreams of the religious family finally asked them to go away for 5 years. Banqueted a part of their estate, the author believed in her dreams as left Vienna and never returned. Answer any one of the following two questions in 120 to 150 words. These are the long type questions you will get in your question papers. How does D.H. Lawrence asserts that the novel is a book that can touch the life of a whole man alive, and that is why the novel matters? D.H. Lawrence का comment है कि novel is a book that can touch the life of whole man alive, and that is why the novel matters. You have to write that particular question in 150 to 120 words. How you can write? Novel provides guidance in this matters. It helps to see when a man is alive and when he dead in life. Help to develop the instinct of life. Does not advocate a right or wrong path which varies according to the circumstances. Novel portrays varying natures of life, thus making readers realize that life itself is reason for living. This is not the whole answer. these are the important points. You have to create your own answer by using that kind of points. How the novel ends result, how whole man alive. Okay, next question is, nature may have tricks up her sleeves to check us if the chemist exploits her too greedily. Critically comment the statement. We have to critically comment the statement, nature may have tricked up her sleeves to check us if the chemist exploits her too greedily. These are the points. You can write your answer by using these points. Science and technology help produce machines, increase in production of food grains, help in equal distribution of wealth. We can now cultivate the sky as well as earth, improve quality of grass, improve cattle, better poultry. It might prove risky. Shaw talks about ecological disturbance, harsh reality of modern world. These are the points. By using these points, you can explain these points and write your long answer type question. Answer any one of the following questions true in 30 to 40 words. How did the captain's behavior change in front of cameraman? Captain did not like being ordered around in front of the cameraman. He was submissive. The tiger found it unbelievable for the captain to be taking others from others. What were the instructions of the captain regarding the show and animals of the circus? To observe the animals carefully, to anticipate how long one animal would last, to get an immediate replacement if anyone dies. Show should never stop because of one animal. Discuss the character of Brinda in the novel The Financial Expert. We have to discuss the novel, the character Brinda in The Financial Expert. Introduced as 17-year-old. How Brinda is introduced? These are the short points. You have to explain each and every point. Brinda is introduced as 17-year-old, very beautiful girl. Her father, a tea estate owner, lives in harmony with in-laws, suffers greatly under her husband. Despite her blatant cheatings and misdemeanor, continues to tolerate him. Give an account of Balu, the pampered son. Balu is nurtured as pampered son. Mar gaya. Listened to all his demands, did not do well in school, recurrent to study runs away to avoid pressure. Despite coming back no improvement, Mr. Pal, responsible for worsening his case, gets further embroiled in illicit activities and leads to father's downfall. You have to explain each and every point. These are the only points. This is not the complete answer. In the first model paper, we have discussed the whole complete answers, and now you can take help of that particular model paper also, and you can also take the help of these points and you can write your answer. Answer any one of the following two questions in 50 to 60 words. Describe the business agreement between Captain and Madan. Reveals Captain's self-importance. Madan approaches him about having Raja perform in the film. Madan, forced to draft and redraft the agreement, gives opportunities to manipulate other. Both play. The creation of the role of master is intended to serve as an ideal. Justify. Expound spiritual profundity. Understand God's scheme of things. Has overcome limitations in the past part life. Advises villagers to control their pride and arrogance. Doesn't surround himself with prisons of his own making. Next question is Margya rises a fall in life, makes the readers introspect on various notions of ethics and integrity. Elaborate. We will have to elaborate this point that Margya rises a fall in life, make the readers introspect on various notions of ethics and integrity. How you can write your answer? Combines the traditional values, waves of westernization, bears no remorse in illegal sales of firms, obsessions with money leads to neglect of only son, stoops low in immortal literature, suffers no guilt of qualm, devoid of love and comparison, ignores domestic life. Describe briefly Margya's new found career in publishing house. How he found his new career in publishing house? He sold the manuscripts of Bad Life by Dr. Pal for whatever cash Margya has. He is assured that the book named Domestic Harmony will sell the thousands if the right publisher is found. Madan Lal agrees to publish it on 50-50 partnership. Book is popular, Margya hits a fortune. Answer any one of the following two questions in 120 to 150 words. The master advised the frightened village not to use the words beast or brute. Discuss the rationale behind it. Ugly, demeaning words coined by a man is in his arrogance is man's pride that lies at the root of his suffering and delusion. Mankind surrounds himself with the prison of his own making, lives under false fallacy that all creatures others than himself are awful beasts. The word portray his pride and egocentricity. The master's early life is total contrast to his present philosophical learning. Comment. We will have to comment on this point that the master's early life is total contrast to his present philosophical learning. Sudden information about his early life. We will have to give a sudden information about his early life. Satisfied selfish appetites, has no inordinate demands for food, left wife, family without warning, labeled for discretion. Margya, the hero of the financial expert, is probably Narayan's greatest single comic creation. Justify. We will have to justify the point that Margya is the hero of the financial expert, the probably Narayan's greatest single comic creation. Justify. How we can justify this particular point? Modern town name, always struggling to change his social position, his experiences, ups and downs of life. He faced so many of ups and downs in his life. He attains self-knowledge only when he gives up his chase of money. Lack of insight contributes to his failure, lust for money. But Margya is the monster of greed and wickedness. R.K. Narayan has succeeded in humanizing him and showing that despite of lust and money, he is a human being like us. This is how R.K. Narayan justified Margya as his hero. In what way Margya ruined through his own son? Trace the path of their relationship and discuss. We have to discuss the relationship of Margya and his son. Balu is his spoiled child threw his account books in the gutter, which destroyed all the transaction. He could not do SLLC in spite of admitting him school in great style of private tutor. Seized school leaving book, tears it and throws it in the gutter. Runs away from home, befriends Dr. Paul and falls into evil ways. Refuses to restart the business of his father. Spread false rumors about his death also. So this is how you will get the question papers of CBSE elective part, and we have discussed the whole paper, and we have already discussed the first part of first phase of the paper. There are two model papers we have discussed. So I hope that this will help you in your upcoming exams, and the questions will also I hope the questions will also be there in your examinations too. So all the best for your future. May this exam you will get a huge success, and these papers will help you in your future too. Thank you so much. See you soon.